Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. On today's episode, we are going to continue our NBA season previews by previewing the Washington Wizards. If you want to know how we felt about their offseason, we already have a video out for that, so you can go check that out. I'll actually have it at the end of this video. So what we're going to do is focus on the Washington Wizards this coming season. Let us know in the comments down below before we get into it what your thoughts are on the Wizards. What are you most looking forward to? Some of your predictions. And Clint, why don't we get into the Wizards? Last year they finished 18-64. They re-signed, well, Middleton. They still have Middleton because he exercised his player option, but they got Bagley back. Woohoo! McCollum. They trade for McCollum, and I really like the trade. I like Whitmore. I'm really curious to see what he's all about. And then they lost. They drafted Trey Johnson, and then they lost Sadiq Bey, Brogdon, Jordan Poole, Marcus Smart, just some names. Okay, so Clint, going into this season, what is the Washington's Wizards' biggest strength in your mind, or what you're most looking forward to?
Yeah, that's a tough one. When we started as strength, I'm like, no. But what I'm looking forward to, I guess it was what I would start with the Wizards, is just continuing to merge the youth with McCollum and Middleton. Obviously, are in the last couple of years of their career, but you need guys like that on the team. But I just want to see Alex Sarr. You mentioned Cam Whitmore. Like, I think he's, really exciting. I mean, maybe he'll take too much of the ball, but whatever, you need some of those guys. Koulibaly, it looks like he might miss a few games with a thumb, but like getting those young guys minutes. Again, we talked about this with some of the Western Conference teams. You just got to figure out what guy do you have, 1, 2, or 3, right? If we can figure out one of those guys, it's going to be a lean year. You get to the draft, maybe you can find the 2 or the 1, but you got to figure out who these guys are. And the Wizards have slowly turned over to youth and using their cap space like we talk about. So I'm just looking forward to if any of these guys are going to take a jump. Are they going to be exciting, or are we going to see some promise?
Yeah, I think I 100% agree with you on both your points. So you mentioned Koulibaly. I'll just add Bud Carrington. He's kind of interesting. Trey Johnson, he looks legit so far. Keyshawn George is another one to kind of keep an eye on. So they have a lot of young people, but I did also have written down. I actually like the mix of youth with the vets that they do have on the team. I do like the 2 vets. I know like there's some young teams out there that will have vets, and I'm like, I don't know. That seems more like a progress stopper. Middleton doesn't have to play a whole lot. You're fine with him, and you do need somebody on the court that can kind of handle the ball and get the offense moving to help these young guys grow. And I think that's like something CJ McCollum can do, especially the first half of the year. Maybe by the trade deadline, both those guys aren't on the team anymore. We'll see. But I just think for right now, for helping these young guys grow, I like the mixture of the vets that they have with the young guys that the potential that they have on their roster.
For sure. And you probably don't want Middleton playing more than 20, 25 minutes anyhow. If you're hoping to move him or do something, same with McCollum, you want to wear these guys out.
Correct, exactly. Okay, biggest weakness or the least what you are least looking forward to?
Well, it's probably going to be a lot of ugly basketball.
Yeah.
And that's the downside with these teams is, like what's a weakness? Could be rebounding, could be passing. Like you just never know. I think with the Wizards, I still think they're going to struggle defensively. Like McCollum and Middleton, they have their strength on the offensive side,
Sure.
but at this age, they're not out there to get stops. So I think you're going to be a poor defensive team, obviously, but Alex Sarr, can we get some improvement there? Carrington, Koulibaly, they have size, so maybe you can see something there. But I think by far their weakness is going to be, trying to get stops.
Yeah, and I mean like with that, it's just again being a Piston fan, you're going through this long journey of trying to find somebody to get behind and root for, and it is hard to stay engaged. So I think like that's my biggest like weakness or what I'm least looking forward to as the Wizards, or if you're a Wizards fan, has to be like it's just going to be another losing season. You kind of already know it, so it's going to be really exciting for the first month, and then as the as you continue to lose, uh, it becomes less and less. You get like less likely you'll watch your team play because it's just we're gonna lose by 20 again tonight. So yeah, that's gonna be rough for Wizards fans.
Yeah, you just have to hope one of these guys pops, and that gives you something to watch and hold on to.
Yeah, I guess real quick, is there one guy that you think might pop that you really like what you saw maybe last year or maybe in the preseason or what you're hearing?
I really like, like Koulibaly, his size and sometimes what he shows. He's really raw, but I think you mentioned him. Cam Whitmore might be, that
Mm,
microwave brings
yes.
excitement. It might just be empty stats type of thing, but I do like what he has shown in the
Hmm.
limited time with the Rockets, and now, um, you know, assuming everything is right, coaching wise, mentally, stability. Not that there was with him, but you never know with players. If all that comes together, yeah, he might be one of those dudes where you're like, that dude put up 20 points pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's the one that I'm kind of most excited about. Okay, biggest question going into the season for the Washington Wizards.
Just how they're going to manage it. What are they going to do? Are they keeping McCollum and Middleton? Those are your two guys. Are you just going to flip them to a contender or someone that's going to be a playoff team? That's getting a little harder to do with the second apron stuff, and some teams are limited. But are they going to do that or just buy these guys out? As we get back to the deadline. But I just want to see what they do, or if they what are they going to do with cap space, and mainly the veterans. The young guys, I think you're just going to give them runway, and you're probably going to see different starting lineups, and they're going to in and out. But those veteran guys, can they get something for them?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and I think that there'll be some interest if they're healthy, especially from some contending teams, because like as we're going through these previews, especially the Eastern Conference seems to be wide open, right? So I think that's possible. I'm gonna say my big question is just like Alex Sarr. Can he? They picked him pretty high, number two overall. And there's a lot of raw potential there. So what is he? Can he take a leap forward? Can he like finish around the basket? He shot 39% from the field last year, which is not great for somebody who's 7 foot. So can he take a leap? I think this is kind of the guy they're putting their eggs in the basket, so to speak, on. Like they're really into like because they picked him so high, so it makes a lot of sense. But that would be my big question. Can you get the potential out of Alex Sarr that you need to make him like one of the building blocks for your franchise?
Yeah, but, yeah, like you just got to see, can he be the center of the future, or is he like, this is our backup center who can space the floor?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. What would be a successful season for the Wizards in your mind?
It's just having one or two of these guys look good. If you get an answer to a couple of these guys, whether it's good or bad, just getting answers, and then just again, it's a churning game. It sounds rough, because these are actual professional athletes and humans. But if it's not working, you got to move on. You got to rotate. But if you can find one or two of these guys or more that you're like, this guy can come off the bench, this guy could start. I think that's great for them to have an opportunity again to not make huge jumps. But as you mentioned with the Pistons, you can go from this is god awful to 30, 30, 32, 33, mid 30s wins. And yeah, at this point, that would be exciting for the Pistons next year if you could find a couple of guys and
Wizards.
win. Wizards.
The
Same
Pistons
thing,
too.
right? No,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Yeah, for the Wizards, if you can find a couple of those guys, then next year you can be like, all right, well, we don't have to win 15 games.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. Agreed. And that's what I have is just one of the young ones or a couple of the young ones pop. That'd be great. Like if you can be confident. I think another thing to mention too is it's good. Your franchise is set up to be like a bad season. So can we get a top 3 pick? And that doesn't, it's not always in your hands. So like there was some seasons with the Lions, the Pistons, where we would be one of the worst records and we'd pick 5, and it was just like everything that season felt so much more burdensome because it was like we didn't get a top 3 pick. So unfortunately, I think part of their success is you're going to have a losing record, but are we going to be picking in the top of the draft, or are we going to fall because of the lottery? And unfortunately, that's out of their hands. So that's another thing.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Yes. Prediction for the Wizards.
Yeah, this is a lottery team.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the bottom 2 or 3 teams in the league.
Yeah, but I think, you know what? Silver lining, totally agree with you. They are going to be very interesting to watch with some of these young guys, so I'm pretty excited to watch them a couple times this year. Anything else, Clint?
No, just find something, and hopefully you can find some lights, Wizards fans.
That's right, exactly. Everybody else, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe, and leave down in the comments down below what your thoughts are on the Wizards seasons coming up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.